Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Canopy Cafe on Thursday, November 12th. It's been a while since we've had a Canopy Cafe, so I appreciate everyone joining us this morning. We have a very special guest today to continue these conversations in good business. And our guest today is someone who represents one of the most iconic brands in Kentucky. And because Canopy is all about good business in Kentucky and taking care of our people, we really wanted to feature this voice and this organization for delivering some very specific and meaningful impact to people right here in Kentucky and across the globe. So we're excited to bring Emma on here in just a moment. But first, want to share a little bit about what's going on in Canopy's world, since it's been a while since we've connected via live stream. So we are this week launching the Canopy certification. We have our first 6 alpha companies that are beginning actually tomorrow. The orientation is tomorrow. We're very proud to kick this off and to really start to build upon the ground level for good business in Kentucky. And we are very excited to launch the certification, and we are actively recruiting. We're looking for values-aligned, like-minded organizations throughout Kentucky that want to help us make Kentucky first in the good business movement. So more to come on that later, how you can learn more and sign up. But now, I really want to turn everything over to our guest today, and it is Emma Horn. Emma is the managing director for the KFC Foundation, a longtime friend of Canopy in many ways, and just an all-around wonderful person. So my pleasure to introduce Emma to the cafe.
Good morning, Ben. Thanks for having me this morning.
Good morning, Emma. How are you?
Doing well. It's a nice chilly morning today, so trying to get cozied up after 75-degree weather this weekend. So welcome to Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that I would say is consistent in Louisville or Kentucky in general, it's that, it'll be 75 one day, 30 the next. You just can't get used to anything. But, all in all, it's a beautiful fall day. And that sounds like a nice way to get it started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Emma, tell us, about yourself and your role at the KFC Foundation, and ultimately what the KFC Foundation does.
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined the KFC Foundation a little over a year ago. Fun fact, I actually share my work anniversary with the Colonel's birthday. So it's a very appropriate work anniversary, I think. It's been an interesting first year in a new job, as it's been an interesting year for everybody. I got to spend 6 months in the office with our team, and then the last 6 months working from home, or 8 months now, working from home like everybody else. So we've been pivoting and adjusting and meeting team members, because at the KFC Foundation, what we do and the reason we exist is to serve team members and to take care of team members where they are. And those are our restaurant employees. We call everybody a team member because we're part of a family and we work together. And so we have 5 different programs that really help focus on meeting team members where they are and helping them in their immediate needs and then pursuing their dreams. So we have 3 pillars that we talk about the foundation of: making a difference, inspiring great things, and reaching dreams. And so our 5 different programs fall in those areas, and that ranges from our family fund, which helps serve people when they're in times of crisis, when there's been a fire or a funeral in their family and they just need that immediate help. And then we also help people as they're reaching for their dreams with our educational grants for college, 2- and 4-year colleges, and then helping folks earn their GED through a partnership with GED Works. And then we also have just launched a pilot this fall where we have a new program called My Change Savers, where we are actually doing a savings matching program for team members. So if they match money in their new savings account, we're going to match. If they can contribute money there, we're going to match it with them along the way. So at the end, they could have $500 with about half coming from us.
Very cool. Very cool. And, I love to hear of any organization that really focuses on taking care of their employees and, the community overall. And clearly you have, a myriad of programs at the KFC Foundation that are doing just that. So tell us a little bit about, how employees receive that. What are some of the results that you see with your team members when you deliver this sort of impact?
It's amazing. I mean, the stories that we get to hear of people that we've supported throughout the year, and then the responses we get from their team around them too, because the exciting thing is that the whole restaurant rallies around people who we're able to support, especially when you see the educational celebrations. For our GED folks, we actually surprise them with a graduation celebration. So we send them a cap, we send them a banner to put up in the restaurant, we send them a gift card for cake so that the whole team can come together and celebrate that person for their achievement. And we have a number of people who recommend somebody else for our family fund when they know somebody in their office or in their restaurant is going through a hard time. So if there's been a funeral or a death in the family, it's usually not the person who's suffering in that moment. It's somebody else in the restaurant who said, let me help you with this. I know you need help, and let me come together around you. And so what we get to see is the team members taking care of each other. And we're just a vehicle to show that love and support and caring in the restaurant. Because we say we're a KFC family, and you really get to see that come through with the work that we do.
I think that's so well said. And I see that happen in my own ways, right? Either at Canopy, other jobs that I've had, or just in general, right? When it comes from the top, when the organization has the heart and people know that, then you pass that forward, right, to your team members, and you show up in new and different ways. And so I think it has such a profound impact over a long period of time. So that's really wonderful. And great to hear stories like that. I was just looking at the website the other day, great stories, success stories. We love seeing that. And especially this year, seeing some of the success stories amid a crazy, tumultuous year. So, how has the pandemic, how has everything in 2020 impacted KFC and your team?
Yeah, for us at the foundation, it was a big moment, especially early on in March, for us to say pause on some of our programming and really pivot to see where team members needed the support at that moment. So one of the programs that we had planned for the year, we just decided to push off until 2021. And instead, we used that time to give away about $500,000 in grocery assistance. And so we gave out 5,000 team members received a $100 gift card, because we knew that in that moment, people were struggling. The stimulus checks weren't coming in yet. People were really taking that hit early on. And so that was a chance for us to just quickly pivot on our plans, pull together a very mighty volunteer team, because we are a team of 3. And so rolling that out in a month span required us leaning on some of our friends within the corporation, but it also brought out amazing stories. There's one woman who is a frontline COVID nurse, and she still was working at KFC because she loved her KFC family and didn't want to leave. And so she was part-time. And so she was recognized with a grocery gift card for her frontline work. And then we also found out that the foundation had given her 3 different scholarships over the course of her nursing degree. And so it was just a beautiful full circle of this amazing woman who's a frontline COVID nurse helping the community. And then we're able to help her a little bit in that time of crisis for her too.
I love hearing that. That's amazing. And, we're all thinking of ways to show up for, our families, our coworkers, our teams. And so it's really wonderful to see examples like this and to be creative about how we show up for people and really acknowledging what the real need is and what can we do to show up, and I think, as one of Kentucky's most iconic brands, for a long time and across the globe, and kind of relating it back to Canopy's mission, right? Really driving good business throughout the state of Kentucky. What's your vision for how KFC can continue and the foundation can continue to impact Kentucky and its people?
Yeah. For us, this goes back to the legacy of the Colonel. And so the Colonel, when he was a young man, was picked up by a hitchhiker and was given a ride. And he said, when I make it, I'm never going to pass anybody up. And so years and years later, he saw a kid walking down the road with his backpack and his luggage and all. And he said, I'm going to stop and pick that kid up. And he gave this guy a ride. And in the conversation, he was on his way to college. They had a great conversation. And when they got there, he said, oh, just drop me off at the front. It's okay. I'll find my way back. And the Colonel said, oh, no, I know somebody. Let me go in. I'm going to go into this building. And walked into the administration building and walked into the bursar's office and paid for his college. And the Colonel was famous for those picking up hitchhikers. His drivers told many stories about stopping many times to pick up folks. And it's just the heart of what we do as a company. And what the foundation exists to do is help take care of people. And there's lots of research from Edelman and other big PR brands that help us think about how we serve the community. And people want to buy from companies that are doing good and are taking care of their employees. That's been the biggest thing for us this year, is that customers want to know that you're taking care of your frontline workers and your employees who are out there every day, especially in the midst of the pandemic. And we're just a piece of how we can make team members feel like they're supported and cared for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did not know the hitchhiking stories of the Colonel, but I think it's so well representing how I think about most Kentuckians, right? We care about each other. So it's a small town vibe, no matter where you go. And I mean, in Louisville, although we're the biggest city in the state, it just still proves to be such a small town. Even your example about seeing Tai Chi happening in Seneca Park and thinking about, my stepdad is like, there's wonderful aspects of that in Kentucky. And, you brought up an important point in regards to conscious consumerism, right? I mean, this has always kind of been the way that we want to do business. We want to buy from, and work for organizations that do take care of people and do deliver important impact, and especially timely impact in crazy years like this one. So have you seen, some positive response from customers of KFC?
That's a really great question. And it's been interesting this year with the foundation, with nobody being in the office, we don't get to hear and see a lot of those pieces. But a big piece of what's been going well for the brand this year has been being that source of that warm comfort food in times of challenge. And so we've seen the brand's been doing really well this year with the whole meal replacement piece, where it's a meal for today and a meal for tomorrow. And we know that in the future, as we start to expand some of the communication strategies of the foundation to talk more about what we're doing for team members, we know that's going to resonate with customers. And that's our hope, that we can start to tell those stories more often and more publicly, so that customers get excited about supporting a brand that cares about their team members.
Absolutely. True comfort food at KFC. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, opportunities right now to expand your work at the foundation. What are you currently working on, and how can people support you and the work of the foundation?
Yeah, the big thing that we're working on right now is kind of planning for the next 3 years. We're in the middle of a strategic planning session and process. And so we're trying to look at, where are our team members? What are the challenges they face? And we support them on their journey in a myriad of different ways. And so how do we have those basic needs pieces that we're taking care of for team members in crisis, but then also helping them reach their higher goals, and helping them, if you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we're all the way from the basic level of comfort to self-esteem and actualization. And so we're putting together new plans and new programs so that we're constantly iterating and meeting team members where they are. And a big piece of that too is us expanding this savings program we've started this year, because especially this year, it's shown us that team members need that financial security and need to have that savings habit built, and an emergency savings fund built for times of crisis. And so our big focus in next year is, how do we keep enrolling more people in that program and the financial education piece, and then also make sure that we're helping them with the savings matching. And the most interesting thing, one of the pieces we're working on communication-wise, is the KFC Foundation is funded by coleslaw. So every time you buy coleslaw at KFC, a portion of that is coming back to the foundation. And so we're working on making sure people know that coleslaw changes lives, so we can help to continue to support more team members as they need help over the coming years.
That's so cool. I'm so happy to know that. And gosh, I mean, that it makes such wonderful sense. So to everybody listening, go buy coleslaw, go to KFC. You're supporting people, you're eating great coleslaw, and doing some amazing work. So I do have one question for you that I'm not sure if you're going to be able to answer. What are the 11 herbs and spices, Emma?
They haven't shared that with me yet. I think I have to make it to 35 years before they start to let you in on that. So 1 year down. a few to go.
That's the retirement gift, is just the
Yeah.
recipe to just cook in perpetuity.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal, good deal. Well, where can people go to learn about the amazing work that's happening at the foundation, and how they can support?
Yep. So we are on all the social channels. We have kfcfoundation.org is our website. We just posted our 2020 annual report, which really tells some exciting stories of team members we've supported this year, some things we've done with technology to help them out. Another interesting thing, as the pandemic happened this year and libraries closed, most of our folks who were earning their GED studied at the library. So we actually very quickly bought laptops and sent those out to a lot of our team members so they can continue studying for their GED. So there's some really great stories in there. And then we are constantly sharing stories about the people that we serve on our social channels. So we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Very cool, very cool. And the last question before we'll let you go here, and we ask all of our guests, and I think one of our goals with this was to have a better cafe than we did with Larry. I think we've accomplished that so far, for sure.
Solid. There's been no interruptions from little people, so that's good.
And he has a great answer to this question, and I know you will too. How would you define good business, Emma?
It's taking care of people. It's thinking about everybody that's involved in the business, not just the top line, but the bottom line, and taking care of people. I think that's the most important thing. And there's so many different ways that can happen within a company, whether it's just bringing in bits of recognition. So you can tell people how important they are to the company, all the way to the programs that we offer. They're really addressing team members in crisis and helping them achieve their dreams. So for me, that's the bottom line, is taking care of the people that we get to work with every day.
Absolutely. People are the most valuable resource. I think that is very well said. So everyone watching, Emma Horn, thank you so much for stopping by the Canopy Cafe, for the work that you're leading at the KFC Foundation, really just creating this thoughtful, compassionate brand of Kentucky business across the state and across the globe. So thank you so much, Emma.
Thank you guys for what you're doing. I love getting to see Canopy all the time. It's fun.
Yeah, oh yeah. All right, take care, Emma.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, we are very glad to have Emma on the cafe today, longtime friend and supporter, and leading amazing work at the KFC Foundation. And as she was saying, taking care of people will always be such an important part of running a good business, and really especially important in trying times like we've seen this year. So before we part ways, I want to lift up a couple opportunities for those of you watching to get involved and take action. The first of which, we are launching the Canopy certification. And if your business is committing to operating with the best interest of Kentucky and its people in mind, as you grow profit and as you work to solve social, environmental, and economic challenges, then the Canopy certification is for you. So if you will, get in touch, go to our website, canopyky.org. You can email me directly, bensmock@canopyky.org, and I would love to chat with you about what the certification is and if your business is a fit. So we're excited to launch that in January and deliver this certification to all Kentucky businesses, and to grow and to really make Kentucky a premier ecosystem for this good business movement. And then lastly, we are trying to raise money throughout the end of the year to help ensure the successful launch of the Canopy certification itself. So if you will, we're asking folks to chip in $5 to help us launch, and it really, really means a lot. Every dollar counts. And so if you have the ability to donate just a little bit to our mission, you can check out canopyky.org/donate and make a contribution right there. So thank you all very much for stopping by the Canopy Cafe. I'm Ben Smock with Canopy, and I will be back soon. And I hope everybody takes care until then. See ya.